meine Schüler. Good day, my students. That's in German. Good day, my students. Before we start, we want to say Guten Tag to Colleen, Guten Tag to Karen, Guten Tag to Amara and Rick and Joni, Guten Tag to Kelly and Colin and Miles. Guten Tag, everyone. Hello to Munira and Amy and Gael. Lots of people to say hi to. Hello to Benny and Aaliyah. Hello, hello. We're here today. So we have a special day today because we're talking about very special people in a lot of our lives. And if we don't call this person by this title, you might have someone who acts like that person for you in your life. So before we open our surprise box, maybe you can guess the person we're talking about. So here's a puppet. Now, this puppet has a scarf or a babushka on her head. She has glasses on her eyes. You might see her having a cane. She might be really old, but she might not. Because you know what? 60 is the new 20 nowadays, they say. Do you might know who this person is? This person is a grandma. A grandma. And how we say grandma in sign language, it's kind of just like mom. The mom sign we learned about a couple stories ago. So this is mom, and this is grandma, grandma. So it's just showing the different generation. Grandma. And remember, feminine signs are on the lower half of your face and masculine signs are usually on the top half of your face. So we said mom, dad, and this is grandma, grandma. So before I ask you folks about your grandma or grandmas, you could have a lot of grandmas depending on your story and your journey, or maybe you don't have anyone you call grandma, but maybe there's a special person in your life that takes care of you like a grandma. They come in all forms. Now the story we're going to read, my grandma used to read to me. Her name's Olga. See, she had glasses, curly, permed hair. It was probably dyed because she was older. Look at that nice, beautiful gal. And I had another grandma named Helen. Look. Do you know who your grandmas are? Or do you know who you might call grandma in your life? So our story includes a grandma. It also includes a couple of animals. Can you guess what it is? What's this one? This one has a hard shell. And it moves really slow, really slow. It is a turtle. Now this is one of my favorite signs we do for sign language, because we take our fist, this is the body of the turtle, then we make our thumb the head, and our other hand the shell. So turtle. So we have a turtle here with us today, and we also have a tweet, a bird. Now, bird is almost like no in sign language. No. So, remember from the stories before, we take our two fingers on top and our thumb and we say no. But, very similarly, we can say bird. So that's just using one of your fingers, your pointer finger and your thumb, and say bird. And usually, right, we talk about this in our classroom, our facial expressions tell a lot about what we're communicating. So this is no, and this is bird. Alrighty, we also have a couple other creatures that we'll be talking about. One of them is a beaver. So we know that beavers have long teeth, and you just emulate that with your hands and say beaver. We also will be talking about one of the main characters is an elephant. And that's a fun sign too. Elephant. So you folks can sign along and read with just me today, Mrs. McGeough. Minnie said she didn't get paid enough for this gig. So it's just Mrs. McGeough today. Read along with me about a story about a grandma and an elephant called But No Elephants. Let's see. Grandma Olga used to read this to me all the time. Grandma Tildy lived all alone. She worked hard every day. She had no time to play. And play, remember? Play. That's like most grandmas, hey? They're always working. One day a man came to her house. He was selling pets. Would you like to buy a canary bird? Asked the man. Very well, said Grandma Tildy, but no elephants. What pet would you folks buy if you could? Grandma Tildy was cooking stew. The bird wanted to help her, so he sang a song for her. It made Grandma Tilda happy, happy. That night they sat down to eat the stew together, and it tasted better than ever before. The next day the pet man came again. Would you like to buy a beaver? Remember, beaver? He asked. Very well, said Grandma Tildy, but no elephants. Grandma Tildy needed firewood. The beaver wanted to help, so he cut the wood with his sharp teeth. That night they sat in front of a warm fire. From all the wood that beaver cut. Grandma Tildy went shopping. She met the pet man again. Would you like to buy remember? A turtle. He asked. Very well, she said, but no elephants. Grandma Tildy was tired. The turtle wanted to help, so he carried her home on his back. That hard shell could probably carry a lot. That night, Grandma Tildy washed the turtle and put him to bed. The next day it rained hard. The roof started to leak. Drip, drip, drip. Then someone knocked on the door. It was you-know-who. Oh, look at all the rain coming down. Would you like to buy a woodpecker? The man had asked. Very well, said Grandma Tildy, but no elephants. The woodpecker, or bird, wanted to help. And remember help again? Help, help. So he nailed the roof down tight. The dripping stopped. Let's turn the page, Colton. That night they danced together in the warm, dry house. The days got colder and colder. Grandma Tildy put food in jars for the winter, like good grandmas do. I don't like the cold, she said. Just then, the pet man appeared. Would you like to buy an elephant? He asked. He's the only animal left, and I must leave before it snows. No elephant, shouted Grandma. She went back to her work. The pet man left. But the elephant stayed. It started to snow, and it kept snowing and snowing. Just like in Saskatchewan, hey? We can't get away from it, whether it be our weather or in the books. And snowing, and snowing, and snowing. No elephant, said Grandma Tildy, but the elephant would not go. They could not see the elephant now, but they could hear him crying. They felt sad. Very well, called Grandma Tildy. You may come in. The elephant was as happy as could be. But the elephant had a big problem. He could not get through the door. So they all helped push him inside. "Oh dear," said Grandma Tildy. "I hope the floor is strong. This is a very old house." Outside, the snow kept falling. Really, they must be in Saskatchewan. But inside the house, it was cozy and warm. Everyone hoped winter would go away and spring would come soon. That night, there was a terrible crash. The elephant had fallen through the floor. "We cannot fix this," said Grandma. "You will just have to stay there." The winter was so long, and soon the firewood was gone. The elephant was always hungry. He kept eating and eating and eating until all the food was gone. "We cannot leave or we will freeze," said Grandma Tildy. "We cannot stay or we will starve. What are we going to do?" And look at that elephant ate all the preserves. All the pickles, all the canned tomatoes. What the heck? The elephant felt very sorry. Then he thought of a way to help. He started to walk. And he walked, and he walked, and he walked. When he stopped, they were in a warm, sunny place. And look at all those palm trees. Hey, palm trees. And that is where Grandma Tildy and her friends are today. The elephant has lots of neighbors. The elephant has lots of neighbors now. They went to a warm place with elephants. The end. Now that was But No Elephants by Jerry Smath. And my grandma used to read that to me all the time. What are some of your favorite books that someone called Grandma reads to you? You should suggest them in our comments below, and then maybe Mrs. McGeough will get a hold of those books and read them to you. Thanks, folks. Have a great day. Bye.